Hi everyone, welcome to the GAMSAT podcast. I'm Tom and I'm here with Kristian. Today we're going to talk all about Kristian and his journey to medicine, and hopefully you can take some advice from his experiences, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds good.
Hello Kristian.
Hi. Hey guys.
Tell us a little bit about your process. I know you're obviously on the last episode about GAMSAT scores, but tell us a little bit about sort of your journey to, maybe starting med next year.
Yeah, sure. So I came from the very conventional biomed throughout the undergrad, and so I sat the GAMSAT in second year in March, and that was
be 2018.
2017.
Okay.
Yep. Sat it back then, and so since then I've sat it another 2 times. Yep. All March.
Yeah.
Tradition.
And I guess, like, if you feel comfortable, what were your scores on each of the sits? Yeah,
sure. So the first and second were both 70.
Okay.
On the dot, exact same. Different section scores in between.
Yeah.
And then the most recent one was 73.
That's great. Yeah. Okay. And sort of 70 is a pretty good score. So why did you have to sit it a few times?
Yeah, so I sat it in the obviously in the second year, and there wasn't, like, obviously my knowledge of the GAMSAT was very limited. Yeah. Went into it and just thinking, okay, well, I'll just put my front foot forward, and whatever it is, I guess I just want to improve on it next time, because why not? Like, you have the other sit anyway, so might as well go through with it. So
I was the same. Like I scored well on my first sit, but it was like, just felt like I could have done better on the second try.
You have the opportunity, like,
might as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you applied in your third year?
Yeah.
Right? And so what happened then?
Applied in my third year with obviously the 70 GAMSAT. Got an interview at University of Sydney, University of Melbourne. Interviewed at both, rejected at both.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
But you're a pretty smooth talker, now. What do you think went wrong?
Definitely, I would say the interview. Like, the interview was my biggest thing. I think it wasn't, I wouldn't say arrogance going into the interview. It was just expecting that I know what interviews are about, and thinking that the MMI was the same as a normal conversation. And that was the biggest downfall. It was, I guess, not respecting the scope of what's actually covered. Yeah. And, you think, like you said, you think you can just, like, smooth talk your way through it, but there's very, very specific things that they're after, and not knowing that is lost marks.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that was,
especially at Melbourne, I think. Even Sid as well, like, they're of all the universities. There are some universities where, it's a bit more freeform. Yep. But those ones, it's always a bit regimented. And like, there are scenarios, and you have to, there are 5 follow-ups, or however many 4 follow-ups, and you've got to get to all the questions. It's just, it's a bit of a, it's almost,
all in like weird, 5 minutes.
weird game show,
Yeah.
Okay, great. And so this year, where did you get I guess what changed between last year and this year? Yeah,
sure. So obviously I sat the GAMSAT again, went through phrases this time. Yeah. Really, and it showed the improvement wasn't, astounding, but when you're in the 70s anyway, any improvement is really fantastic, which is good. And then went through interview training, and the interview training, like, a lot of time and effort put into that, really trying to...
You made these, like, crazy mind maps. And
exactly, huge mind maps, understanding, the nitty gritty of, when they're asking, why do you want to be a doctor? What are they wanting? You know what I mean? What specifically, what is it that they're trying to tease out of you? And what I think was most, I guess, astounding was, I wouldn't really say that as a person I developed over that year. It's just that it's necessary to know what specifically, like, people are after when you're being interviewed. And so it's like being able to almost train the way you're thinking and how you're responding, because I guess, the in terms of, like I said, the personal development, like, it's just the way it's expressed that's important, and how you take the interviewee on a narrative and a journey.
Yeah. No, and I remember from practices, and you obviously improved a huge amount, and it's like, it's nothing to be ashamed of or anything. I think ultimately, like, everyone who does well in interviews does prepare a lot. Yeah. It's just there are a lot of things that go into it. It can go badly on the day. You can sometimes miss the cues of exactly what's wanted from you in a given question, especially if you haven't tried it before. And so in the moment you just sort of blank and don't hit the points that they want.
Just a snowball effect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Time's running
and you get
out.
nervous, and then you get anxious. And But
Yeah.
we're obviously stoked to have you as part of the team.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So if you had to distill sort of what you think the 2 or 3 most important things were in your preparation, because you've done well a few times, what do you think they are? I
think I guess definitely not assuming that that the way a question is asked, you know exactly how to respond to it. That's the first thing. It's taking I guess respecting the fact that there are things that they're looking for, and in essence it's respecting the process. And this is to do with the
interviews, right?
Sorry. Yeah. So that was specifically for the interviews. What was the
no, that's fine. That's fine. So for interviews, respecting the different types of questions, and things like that. No, keep going. So what other things did you think were important in like sort of the whole process?
I guess like being the whole process, trying to get in, being really self-aware, and the self-aware is important for the interview and the GAMSAT. It's especially with the GAMSAT being such a psychometric test, they're having I guess personal battles with yourself is really difficult because it does show within the GAMSAT itself. And what I mean by that is like if you're very fearful that this is the last GAMSAT, otherwise you're not going to get in for another year, those anxieties show. You know what I mean? There's like we all have things to lose, but if you're really tense up on that, it's very hard to think very critically and laterally. And
cool. Any other things about maybe GAMSAT specifically that you think are useful for people preparing?
Yeah, sure. So I think with the GAMSAT, it's keeping in mind that it's testing something that is not ingrained in the Australian curriculum. It's we're really in the GAMSAT, they're really after the problem solving and the critical thinking element that we don't get here. We don't. There are very few subjects, even in VCE, where you need to be able to think that laterally and not be able to just rely solely on rote learning. And we are there in the GAM. It's like every question is in trying to encourage you to be creative about how you're going to solve the problem. And recognizing that is different from how we've gone through all of our academic journey. It's key
challenge.
Exactly.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. So I guess to summarize, I guess it's been a long journey.
It has,
but you've got your offer. And which university you headed to?
I'm not sure yet. I got offer for Sydney and Melbourne. Still making the decision.
Okay. We'll park that for another time. All right. Maybe if you have any advice for Kristian, just comment.
Shoot through.
Send an email through. But I guess looking at the overall process, a lot of students will have to sit the GAMSAT a few times. And I think that's something that's a struggle for a lot of students who, are really fixated on a certain path. And I'm going to sit the GAMSAT once or maybe twice, and then apply my third year and get into medicine straight away. Did you have any friends that were sort of alongside you or roughly at the same year? I guess, how did that all feel? Did you feel left out?
It felt pretty left out, seeing, a lot of obviously very competitive doing biomed at Melbourne. And so there was that a lot of people did have that natural progression straight through medicine. And it puts you in the position of questioning yourself, like like especially when, you go so well throughout university, and it's like, why didn't that translate? What was missing? You know what I mean? Why am I still here? And then it's like the biggest factor, I guess, is the uncertainty. It's like you don't know that in the following year you're going to get in. You know what I mean? So that sort of
like a whole year of your life.
Only
limited number of those.
Exactly.
And you're faced with going through essentially the same thing again. But also having heaps of free time and not knowing what to do. But if I guess in the end, when it came to the GAMSAT in the interview process, it was really enjoying life beyond needing to get into medicine. And when being able to get to that stage, it was like very liberating. You know what I mean? And it got to a point where if I don't get in this year, it's interesting as well. Like it's a weird concept for anyone outside of this space. Like camera guy and Matt behind the camera, or whoever, like anyone doing any other job, they don't have this like weird like psychopathic need to get in or do to be crazy about like setting up everything in life, and if I don't get X, then I've completely failed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unhealthy.
It is.
And I do think that, you know, from being out the other side now, you'll kind of get knocked off your perch at some point. I think pretty much everyone will at some point. Yeah. Even if it's like specialty training and they get straight into specialty training, later on they might not get a consultant position that they want or a fellowship. Like there's always going to be times when it doesn't work out. And I don't know, I think it's better to have those experiences earlier rather than
it's true. Yeah.
You're probably less prepared to deal with them in the right way.
It's true.
Yeah. So did you have other friends that you were preparing with sort of that had missed out as well, or was it sort of
yeah, there were, you see like a wide variety. There were a number that, you know, had prepared as well, and you know, similar position, you know, same roughly sort of GAMSAT, same roughly sort of GPA, and you know, not getting an interview even at their first preference. Like that's the first hit, you know what I mean? It's not getting that interview.
Because I guess you always got your interviews at, you know, the fancy schools.
Yeah, that's it.
And so some people won't even get that. Yeah. All right. Well, do you have anything else to add? Anything else you want to share with the people while you've got the mic?
Yeah. Geez, I guess, you know, really see this for like in the long game. You know what I mean? It's not. It's very easy to get bitter towards everything, you know, it's
to everything.
I hate life. You're sitting the GAMSAT in March and you've lost the summer, you know, studying. You sit the GAMSAT in September and it's impeding your semester 2, you know, study and your mid-year break and, you know, even interviews and so on. And so every step of the way, there's something that could contribute to you becoming more bitter towards, you know, wanting to get in. And it's really difficult to cope with that, you know, like difficult to cope with that bitterness. So just always taking a step back and really trying to understand, you know, what is it about you that wants to be, you know, enter the healthcare profession, and does it matter if it waits a little bit?
Yeah. No, that's good. I think that's generally good advice. I mean, for most students, it goes back to the overall principle, you know, have other things that are meaningful to you.
That's it. It's almost like anti-intuitive. It's like, find happiness elsewhere too. You know,
to get in.
Get in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Find happiness in other things that you do, whether it's, you know, teaching students, or for me, like playing basketball, like whatever it is, just enjoy something about what you do that isn't just, you know, medicine and being an academic god. Okay. Well, cool. It was lovely to chat to you on the podcast. For anyone who comes to our masterclasses or ends up in our courses in any capacity, you'll probably see Kristian. Thanks again, and we'll see you all on another episode soon. See you later.
Awesome. Bye.